Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening, neighbors, friends, brothers and sisters. Welcome. This is your Member Provincial Parliament, Faisal Hassan, joining you again this evening at 7 p.m. and until 8 p.m. And I will be going to joining you here tonight until 8 p.m. to hear your concerns as well. I join you every Friday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Those of you who are joining Instagram, welcome, and also Twitter, welcome, and LinkedIn, welcome, YouTube, welcome. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube, please do so. And also Facebook, Faisal Hassan, NDP, welcome as well. Before I begin our this evening's program, I would like to wish to acknowledge at this time the land that we now know as York Southwestern is the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas, of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now a home to many diverse First Nations, Inuits, Métis peoples. Welcome, folks. Welcome those who are joining as well on Instagram and Facebook page as well. Welcome. And also those who are joining also Twitter. Welcome. YouTube. Welcome again. And Frank, welcome. And he says, good evening, Brother Faisal Hassan, NDP. Well, thank you for joining me as well. And those who are also joining on Instagram, welcome. Just quickly, folks, one more time, we are accepting until February 4th the applications for second annual Member Provincial Parliament, Faisal Hassan Youth Council for York Southwestern are now open. And this will give or provides our youth an excitement opportunity to highlight ways our young people can better and identify ways we can support young people across our community. If you are a young person between the ages of 16 and 24 and are interested in making an impact in your community, please fill it and or email me, Faisal Hassan, Faisal Hassan-co at ndp.on.ca. Okay, and I'll be happy to review it and get back to you. Okay, and those also who are joining us Instagram, welcome. Well, folks, yesterday was the International Holocaust Remembrance Day, and here in York Southwestern and abroad, we remember the tragic violence of the Holocaust and work to insist that the suffering and injustice based on hatred must end. And today and every day we pledge never again to the victims of the Holocaust. And we need to educate our young people to learn that tragic history as well. And folks, also Metrolink contract concerns has come out lately about the news. And we know that Metrolink, many projects in our community has also impacted communities across Eglinton corridors, specifically the Eglinton Hill BIA and Mount Dennis BIAs as well, businesses as well, and they're in the community here. And recent news of a sole sourced contract being awarded to a vice president of the Metrolink has caused a great deal of alarm. The government has indicated that it plans to investigate. However, there are concerns about the transparency of the inquiry. We are urging the government to appoint an independent investigator and eliminate any perception of a cover-up that could come from this government's investigating itself. We need to make sure that these kinds of conflict of interest issues has to be cleared quickly. I welcome also Ayana Francis, our talented children's book author. And Ayana Francis also, folks, wrote this book. This just came out. If you haven't gotten your copy, please do. It's ABC, Where Are We, Africa? And this is it, folks. You can see those Instagram and also those other streams. And here also, other book was Where Are We in the West Indies? And this is also another book of Ayana Francis. Please support our talented author. You can actually visit and check it out. www.travelingfitbooks.com. There you are, folks. I'll put closer there. You can see that. There it is. And there you can see that. Okay. So please support our talented author, children's books author, Ayana Francis. And if you're a teacher, you can also use these kinds of books in your classrooms as well. So check it out. Well, Francis, you're most, Ayana, you're most welcome. Thank you. And also tomorrow, actually the 29th, this Saturday marks the 5th anniversary of the Quebec mosque shooting. On January 29th, 2017, a gunman entered the Center for Cultural Islamic of Quebec and attacked worshippers gathered for evening prayers. This was a tragic, hateful, and Islamophobic crime. My leader, Andy Horvath, and I continue to stand shoulder to shoulder with the Muslim community to combat hate, racism, and Islamophobia in Ontario and in Canada. So tomorrow you can also wear a green and also share your thoughts also on social media as well. Valerie, welcome also joining us on Facebook page. And also those of you who are joining, you're a member, Provincial Parliament, Faisal Hassan. I join you every Friday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. And next Friday, folks, I have to share a great news because we are going to we are having a Ontario NDB convention, which I will be giving my attention next Friday. I won't be able to join you, but I'll be joining you the next Friday from 7 to 8 p.m. So just an announcement, folks, just so you know that. If I don't join you, I will be available the next Friday to speak to you and answer your questions. Valerie says, heartbreaking, evil will always find a reason to hate. Well, thank you, Valerie. We can work together to eliminate all sort of hate and hatefulness, anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, racism, and all sort of forms of racism and hate and hatefulness that has no place in our community and in our province, in our country. We have to work together to fight this together, and an NDP government will fight and make sure that we will not tolerate any form of hatred and hatefulness. We are one community, and we should be praising that. Well, thank you. And also this week, I would like to congratulate Farmer Chaminade College School student and York Southwestern resident, Emmanuel Adegboyenge, on being awarded the prestigious Lincoln Alexander Award. The Honorable Lincoln Alexander, Canada's first Black Member of Parliament and Cabinet Minister, and the 24th Lieutenant Governor of Ontario, was a leading figure in the fight for racial equity in Canada, and the award is given annually to students and community leaders who have demonstrated exemplary leadership in working to eliminate racial discrimination. This is a worthy acknowledgement of Emmanuel's work in co-founding the Black History Committee at his high school and his work on a special project with the Toronto Catholic District School Board to dismantle racism, discrimination in schools. Well, thank you and congratulations. Folks, I'll take some of your comments quickly. I'll first start on the Facebook page. I'll come those also on Twitter as well. First, Valerie says, once again, thank you for making children a national priority. Children are always the innocent victims of hate, of hatred and violence. I agree with you, and we need also to teach our kids early on, anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, racism, and make sure also and other forms of hate and hatefulness, so that they are aware of these issues. We also teach them about the Holocaust. There have been some studies recently show kids in schools know nothing about what happened in Europe, and we need to not forget what happened and to learn so that it never happens again. So I agree with you. Kids are our future. We must provide them, the nurturing and also the support they needed, funding our public schools, making sure also we have affordable childcare. And I have talked about here many times the need for a $10 childcare a day in our community. The communities have waited for so long, and as we know, the liberals have been campaigning for 30 years. I remember their red book about childcare, John Critchay and Martin and others that has been, but finally now Trudeau and the liberals are wanting to sign a deal, and I think we should be taking advantage of that and making sure we deliver results for families, and that's why we have been urging for childcare signing. We are still the only province who hasn't signed a childcare in our province. We must do so, and we are making sure that we implement a childcare, affordable childcare. And quickly, I'll also turn into Instagram. Quickly, I don't know your name, but I cannot even, folks, read your names up there. But you have only have your handle. He says, I think San Nanub. Sorry if I mispronounced. Says, hello, sir. You can just call me Faisal. I was wondering your thoughts on the protest who have all seen for truck drivers across the GTA. Well, that's a very good question. We've seen yesterday in our community, many members of our community welcome the trucks as they pass through our community. And still, but the disturbing reports that's coming Ottawa is there's a lot of flags that are not welcomed in Canada. There's a lot of sort of things that is not encouraging. People expressing their free thoughts is good, but I think there are also signs of extremism here that are also found in Ottawa. And I've seen some pictures of flags, that is not welcome here in Canada, in our community, and we have to be cautious about that. We've just, a remembrance of the Holocaust, International Remembrance of Holocaust this week, yesterday, and we need to make sure, be vigilant about that. These folks also. So I think I'm always welcome people expressing their views. We have to listen people, but I don't agree people who are having extremist views of saying, violence and all sorts of things that have been reported recently about this. So it's a concern about some of the elements of this. This might not be the trackers. It could be other folks as well. So that's my thoughts there. And also, Rega Nashandal says here, I heard of the truck drivers too. What is that about? And what does the NDP think about it? Well, I think this is mainly directed the federal and Ottawa, So they are heading in Ottawa, basically. And that's also, I think, it would be appropriate to direct these questions to the federal MPs to answer them, locally and every riding, and your MPPs should be able to tackle these issues. As you also know, that these truckers just pass through our neighborhood, and it caused some traffic here. I know that many members of our community wave them as they pass through. but I think the appropriate thing is you should be speaking to your member of parliament. Okay, you are a member of provincial parliament, so I have my opinion, but I don't have a seat at the House of Commons. So you need to address those issues, the federal counterparts. Okay, thank you, Russia. And folks here also, quickly, I'll take the, Valerie says, the child care campaign has been addressed for 30 years. This has been going on, Valerie. The Liberals have been campaigning for 30 years for child care. But finally, I'm also somebody who will give a credit where it's due. Now they have realized, the federal Liberals, to implement a childcare. And I think we have to take advantage and deliver results for our families and our children and our community, and those early childhood educators and are needed. We need to make sure that our province is also signing these deals, and we should take advantage of that. I've said that an NDP government will deliver results for families, so I want you to know that. Okay? Well, thank you, Valerie. And Frank says, I suspect, he says, that the Dark Ford government wants the federal government to foot the entire subsidized daycare bill subsidy. Well, I think, Dark and the Ford Conservatives have enough opportunity now for about 3 years and 7 months now. They have an opportunity to deliver childcare plan and program. I understand that they are saying we're going to negotiate. Fine, but tell us what is the negotiations. Be transparent. We need to know these things so our community can benefit of childcare, because we see that Nunavut last week signed the deal. All other provinces have signed this deal. How come Ontario is not able to sign it? We need it. Also, that deal to be implemented right away. If they are not going to do it, remember, June 2nd is an election, and we are going to implement it. Childcare plan, $10 a day, and we will also make sure that we priority. Folks, I just want to also give you one more time a chance. If you haven't checked out our local author, Ayana Francis, her second book is here, and it's called ABC, Where Are We, Africa? And her last book was Where Are We, West Indies? So check it out, folks. It's an excellent illustrations, and also it gives also a lot of educations for young kids to learn about the West Indies, all those nations in the islands, in the Caribbeans, and also the continent also of Africa. So take advantage and support also by buying the book, www.travelingfitbooks.com. Thank you, folks. And those who are joining also in YouTube, welcome. And those who haven't subscribed to my YouTube, you can also do so, folks. Beautiful, Valerie says, where can we purchase these books? Yes, that's a very good question. Valerie, you can actually purchase these books by visiting www.traveling, TRAVELINGFEET www.travelingfitbooks.com. And these are beautiful books. Okay, you can see that. Yeah. Yes. Well, thank you for supporting our extremely talented author, Ayana Francis. And this is excellent illustrations as well. And it's a book of knowledge, folks. Take advantage and buy for your nieces, for your nephews, and also your grandchildren as well. Yes, and also I can show you actually some few pages also, folks. Look at that, the beautiful, here, you can do that. Excellent illustrations here. I really like it. This and the previous one also, as you can see, folks, here too also. And remember also, next month on Tuesday, Black History Month starts too. So it's also a great gift also to share, folks. All right, there we are. Well, thank you. And you can also I don't know if Francis is Scribble's bookstore here in Western, is it available? So if it is so, you can actually let me know, so I can also advertise Scribble's Surrey, also a bookstore here in our neighbor right here has it as well. So if you you can also I don't know if the book carries there, but as soon as I confirm it, then I'll let you know about that. Okay, folks. Well, welcome. Meet me at the crossroads. Welcome also others as well. Yes, folks. It will be there. Suri will have it, folks. At the this also copy, and Suri is very close on Western. It's the opposite of my office, and it's one of the oldest, actually the oldest bookstore in Western is Quibbles. So check it out. Okay, you can also get. It's not yet there. This version, this one, the new book, but it will be there soon. So check it out. All right, thank you. And also you can also pre-order from her as well. You can also pre-order Suri as well. You can get that and pre-order there as well. So folks, that's also excellent. It's on Western. Well, thank you. Also, our healthcare system continues to be under significant strain due to the Omicron variant. And I think I will share this comment quickly, folks. Meet me at Crossroads. Our friends who are doing a fantastic job in the community says, I just finished my book as well. Amazing, folks. The community should be supporting our members of our community, authors such as Ayana Francis. Well, thank you, folks, and continue to spread the good message. And also, Scribbles also has it, Suri, and you can still pre-order it so that the shipments could come there as well. Okay? Well, I was just talking about healthcare system continues to be under significant strain due to the Omicron variant. ICU cases continue to climb. And though we are seeing some positive signs, such as a decreasing positivity rate, we are not out of the woods yet. I'm continuing to insist on the recall of the legislature and the repeal of Bill 124. We need to legislate paid sick days and start talking stakeholders in healthcare and public health seriously. Our system has been underfunded for decades and needs real action to ensure we can manage COVID-19 and work through the enormous backlog of medical procedures that is affecting everyone. Quickly, yes, I think I will share some comments here with Ayana Francis. Other folks are saying here, I think that is, Ayana says, congrats on your new book, Meet Me at the Crossroads. Yes, that's she saying that she has gotten their copy, and thank you. Well, thank you, folks, for supporting and continue to support, folks. If you haven't seen it, this is the new book. You see, you can see that. ABC, Where Are We? Africa. And also here, folks, on Instagram, you can see that too. Okay, support our local brilliant and talented children's author, Ayana Francis. Her previous book also you can order, ABC, Where Are We? West Indies. So I don't have that copy here, but I have the recent one here with me. So that's I can share. Well, folks, on January 5th, the government of Ontario instructed hospitals in Ontario to delay and or cancel elective surgeries as hospital cases surged due to Omicron. Thousands of patients have been affected, adding to long list of backlogs that our province was already struggling with as a result of previous waves. You may know someone yourself who is waiting for an important medical surgery. The impacts of this pandemic stretch beyond COVID-19 itself and have exposed the cracks in our healthcare system. Hospitals were struggling through an era of undercutting and hallway medicine, and it hasn't gotten better. The government recently announced an easing of public health restrictions, but they remain silent on any plans to restart surgeries in Ontario. And yes, also quickly, Valerie says, absolutely, Canadian healthcare was struggling before the pandemic. Thank you for your persistence regards healthcare. Well, thank you. And Ramla, welcome as well. And yes, you're right. The absence of a plan is leaving many patients to struggle with pain and anxiety. If we are in a positive to lift healthcare restrictions, then a plan to allow people access to necessary surgeries and medical treatments must come hand in hand without a focused effort to address the problem. The list will continue to grow. Back in 2021, the Financial Accountability Office identified that 1.3 billion would be needed to deal with the delays in medical services. There is no shortcut to solving this problem. Decades of underfunding our hospitals and healthcare system must be reversed, and we must invest resources to keep people healthy. Restarting surgeries must be treated as one of the priorities of healthcare to avoid the increased costs that come with treating more severe illness. I am encouraging the government to take this issue seriously and to come forward with a robust plan and new funding to rectify the situation. More staffing is required, and we need to work harder to retain the staff currently working under such stress. We can rebuild Bill 124, which caps pay increases for nurses and healthcare workers across the province. We can follow the lead of governments like British Columbia, which have hired hundreds of surgeons, nurses, and diagnostic staff during the pandemic. We should extend hospital operating hours to allow more opportunities to work through the backlog, and we should have a centralized referral program that allows for more efficient delivery of service. The government needs to do more than just allow the backlog to slowly work its way through the system. The government must do proactive for the sake of patients and constituents and communities, as well as of the healthcare system that cannot afford the further stress in action. We need to do better, and we can do better. And Carla, welcome, and also welcome folks who are also waving as well at the Instagram, and also those who are joining also YouTube. Also welcome, and if you haven't subscribed, subscribe also my YouTube as well. Well, Valerie says again, Canada needs to recruit more doctors, perhaps less expectations on foreign doctors would be beneficial. Absolutely. You know, today I was also talking about issues like this to community members, and we have many doctors in our community who are qualified, but they have been told you need Canadian experience. You know, and these are doctors, nurses who can help our healthcare system. Where we need is to allow them to integrate our healthcare system by opening up and allowing also to work and count also experiences that you gain elsewhere. Also is an experience also needed for the job, and that's also is an important component to also allow for them to do the exams, and also allow them to also put them into as soon as they arrive, as soon as they pass the exams, and allow them to also go through the system through internships, co-ops, and placements, so that they do it right on to do working for the community. And that's also it's an excellent idea, Valerie, to open up and recruit more doctors through friend doctors, and also those also who have also been attracted around the globe to immigrate to Canada that are already here, have so much experience. Some of them are driving Uber, some of them are taxi drivers, but these are highly skilled folks that can actually contribute in our community. And we should be able to open up for that and to allow for them to practice here. And I think it's an excellent idea, Valerie. Well, thank you, folks. So those who are joining, you're joining your member provincial parliament for York Southwestern. I join you every Friday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. to speak to you about the week's work, and also to discuss with you the important issues, and also to take some of your questions, and also answer and also share rather your comments with the community. Well, folks, neighbors, friends, brothers and sisters, welcome again. And next week, just quickly, next week it's also our Ontario NDP convention, which is an excellent. If you are joining us, I'll be happy to also see you there. And because of that, I won't be able to join you next Friday, but definitely I will carry on and join you the following Friday in February. And February, folks, it is a Black History Month as well, and we are going to feature also the history of and contributions of members of the Black community, and also we're also planning to have a town hall to talk about and bring also members of the community to share and reflect also in February, and that will be also things we're going to talk about February, folks. And I know also those who are joining also YouTube, welcome. And if you haven't subscribed it, please do so you can also get instant updates, and also you can also have access if you missed any of my past discussions. You can go through all those hundreds and hundreds of videos that are there as well. Some of them are also debates on the legislature. It's also statements. It's also about a question period, holding the government accountable, and so forth and so forth. So you can also go through there and watch them as you please as well. And those also are joining us at LinkedIn, welcome as well. And we are also trying to expand as much as platforms as we can also reach you to join you, to also bring to come to you and to hear your concerns. And also Valerie says also, once again, thank you for the emails. Well, fantastic. Valerie, thanks for reminding me about that. Folks, I do send a newsletter, electronic newsletter, twice a week. And every Mondays and also Thursdays, I send updates about the work we're doing, and just to update you what's happening, and also share what's happening about the community. If you also have announcements, things you want to do in the community that you want to share with the community, it's also a forum where we can also share the rest of the community. So you can also, if you are not been receiving them, you can actually subscribe it. You could go to my website, faisalhassan.ca, and there you can click a newsletter. There at the bottom, you can subscribe there. Okay, by subscribing, then you'll be able to receive it daily. If that's a bit complication for you, just send me an email, fhassan-co@ndp.on.ca, and I'll be able to send you more details about that. Well, thank you. My office also is located 1965 Western Road, and I can be also reached by phone at 416-243-7984. And my email is fhassan-co at ndp.on.ca. Well, thank you, folks, for joining this evening. Of course, parents of young families in Ontario were once again disappointed by the news of an agreement between the Government of Canada and another jurisdiction to provide decent, affordable childcare to their residents. The government of Nunavut has agreed on a deal with the federal government, leaving Ontario as the only province or territory in all over Canada not to come to arrangement so far. Think about that, folks. That is a horrible thing. While this is good news for our neighbors to the north, advocates are correct to wonder when the Premier will take this issue seriously. For decades, Ontario residents have struggled with the highest childcare fees in the country, with some fees approaching or exceeding $2,000 a month. $2,000 a month. Families are dealing with the weight of a second mortgage or rent ceased expense in their household budget. For 25 years, Quebec's program has made life more affordable for families and enriched their children through the talented and caring service of early childhood educators. We deserve the same, and we can do better in this province of Ontario. We have to have affordable childcare, and we can do it. We can take advantage these offerings by the federal government and sign the deal to deliver affordable childcare. It's difficult to understand the government's unwilling to make a deal. I cannot understand the unwillingness to make a deal. Make it the deal, folks. This is the Ford Conservatives. At this point, they have had months to come to an agreement and provide some relief for household budgets. We could be starting the process of expanding access, hiring, training ECEs, and lowering rates. Instead, this government has decided to disregard parents with children in daycare and ignore the real concerns of educators and staff who we have trusted with caring for our treasured little ones. Parents have been asking for take-home rapid antigen tests and access to PCR testing. Staff needs those resources as well as N95 masks to keep themselves and their families safe. In too many corners, our community, grandparents, and elders taking a larger role in supporting family through this crisis. And as the pandemic rages, they worry every cough and sniff could be the sign of COVID-19. And that is also a concern, folks. And folks who are just joining, welcome. Welcome, Jay Robinson. Hope you're doing well. Folks from, I hope you guys are doing there. Thank you for joining this afternoon, and everyone else joining also LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook page, Faisal Hassan, NDP. And here I see quickly a question post, Hussein H. Ali. And he says, hello, Faisal. What do you think about the truck drivers' protest? Do you think we need a vaccine or test requirements? If you don't get vaccinated, you then need to take COVID testing. Well, I've already answered this question, Hussein, early on at the beginning of the hour, 7 dot. And I think somebody have asked me from the question on the on Instagram, and it is Hussein clearly here that the truck drivers went through our neighborhood, and a lot of members of our community gathered on 401 Western Road, Kill Street, waving flags and excited about it. But what I'm hearing now is that the concern really about this hate mongering, that this flag that had been seen in Ottawa and also the concerns of also violence. That is, this might not be the trackers who are doing it, but I think it's becoming now a concern about everybody about the calling for violence and things like that. But I think this is also, they're going to Ottawa. They're heading to Ottawa, and I think these kinds of questions is directed directly the federal MP, my counterpart, will be the right office to direct that. Have you, Hussein, ask the federal MP about this? And folks are going to Ottawa, and what are they going to say about that? I think that will be a federal jurisdiction issue at the moment, and you should be able to follow up there. And I'm also concerned about hate, as we also this week we remembered, the Holocaust, international remembrance of the Holocaust that has happened, and there have been also surveys that has been recently released that a lot of our young people do not know, about the Holocaust, don't know about the Holocaust, and that's why we need to make sure we have to educate our people about this and make sure that it never happens again, and we will never forget about the Holocaust. And I'm concerned about the rise of these hate and hatefulness that is bringing, those folks that they are going to Ottawa at the moment. So basically, I think protesting your thoughts and ideas, it's an excellent thing. It's welcomed. People I've always want to listen. Your inputs, your ideas to express, through peaceful means. But I'm also concerned about others who are also having other messages here, and that is also a concern that we have to be vigilant about. There's no hate, and hatefulness has no place in this province and country. So that's also my comments with regard to Hussein H. Ali's question. Well, folks who are joining us on YouTube, welcome. And if you haven't subscribed, please. And if you even have a question or comment, you can also just write it there, and I'll be able to read it and also answer or comment also, or read your comments to share the rest of the community members. And folks, childcare has been an issue for many, many years. And the Liberals have been promising over 30 years for childcare. And it is not okay for the government to continue to kick this issue further down the road. We need action now. And remember, folks, the Liberals' Red Book in 1993, October, September, August of 1993, that Red Book had promises of delivering a childcare. They have not. They have not done so. But now is an opportunity, and it's a welcomed opportunity for the province of Ontario to take advantage of this. And that's why we have been urging the government to sign the deal. And if they are not going to sign it, in June 2nd, an NDP government will sign it. There are a few things that will be as important to our economic recovery as the quality, affordable childcare that is being denied. Prices of everyday essentials continue to climb, and also the household budgets are being squeezed. Parents are looking for an opportunity to re-enter the workforce and support their families. This government's continued failure to come to an agreement when Ontario has the highest fees in the country shows a lack of respect. It is time we acknowledge the importance of childcare, the value of early childhood educators, and make a deal now. No more excuses and delays. Parents in this province have gone through enough, and they deserve to know that help is on its way. And if this government is not delivering, we will deliver, folks. An NDP government will deliver it, folks. Well, thank you, folks. Those who are joining YouTube, welcome. Those who are joining also Facebook, Faisal Hassan NDP, welcome. And those also who are joining also Faisal Hassan NDP Instagram, welcome. Twitter, Faisal Hassan NDP also welcome. And now we have a question from YouTube for the first time. Jane Reynolds writes it and says, "Thank you for your attention and concern for immediate needs of our community." Well said. Well, thank you, Jane, and thank you for joining me on YouTube this evening. And just an announcement also, next Friday, it's going to be an NDP convention, and we'll do our best to report it to you about resolutions and issues. Of course, it'll be an exciting convention, so I will be going to be there. So I will join you the next Friday following, which will also be the start. Tuesday will be the start of the Black History Month, and we'll be also having many of course discussions about welcoming folks and participating many forums as well, and I'll be also updating you that as well. Well, Jane, thank you, and says very welcome. I appreciate it, folks. Now we are trying to also reach as much platforms as we can. Now you can join me every Friday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Twitter, Faisal Hassan NDP. Instagram, Faisal Hassan NDP. YouTube, you can join me. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. There is plenty of videos about for me debating on bills, talking, holding the government accountable, asking them direct questions, issues important to our community, and also statements, etc., etc. So there, it's a lot of information, folks. Hundreds of videos there you'll be able to access on YouTube. And also now you can also join me on LinkedIn as well. So I'm trying to bring to reach you as much platforms as we can. And if you are not here with me, I understand. You can visit back anytime on Facebook, Twitter, and also YouTube to watch it if you missed it. And if you have any questions later on, you can also write to me, fhassan-co@ndp.on.cn. And folks who are joining me also Instagram, welcome. Well, I hope you guys are doing well. And thank you. And it is also the same stories with the federal liberals. Remember, in 1993, also the liberals said we have nothing to do with housing. And today, folks, the crisis in housing, it is a disaster. And this, I'll give you a bit about history about this. The same as the Red Book in 1993, John Critchay was the leader at the time, and he became a prime minister. And then after that, Paul Martin was his finance minister then. And that Red Book also, they said it's your responsibility. Provincial governments are responsible for housing issues. Then they downloaded here in Ontario, and then the premier there was Mike Harris. And Mike Harris destroyed this province, folks. We know what he did. And in 2003, we had a Liberal government headed by Dalton McGuinty, and he too downloaded housing to municipalities, as Mike Harris did, as Erin Eves did as well. And then after him, Kathleen Wynne, she also downloaded it to municipalities. And now we have a housing crisis, folks. And no one can afford anywhere in Toronto or anywhere in major cities because we have so much flippers, speculators, and others as well, and life is becoming harder and harder for folks. And we need, folks, we need to fix this. To do this, we need to have a plan. And the Ontario NDP, we have a plan, folks, for housing. And if you haven't read our plan, I have talked about in many time here, right here with you, in starting in March 2020, as we started joining you here live, first on Saturdays and now Fridays from 7 to 8 p.m. Because this housing plan, our housing plan, you know why I like it? I like it because it gives people options. And we need options because we don't need one solution, we need multiple solutions. First and foremost, we have to tackle flippers, and speculators, and these greedy billionaires. Most of them don't even live in our province. They're just thinking of investment, and they're making it life difficult for others. Also, we've seen also these lack of rent control for those who rent, and we also seen about also above guideline increases. We need to ban above guideline increases because the landlord, I'm not talking about mom and pop landlords that have a house renting, a room or a basement. That's not the landlord I'm talking about, and they have no protection whatsoever, those small mom and pop landlords. And I feel so sorry because I was speaking to 2 days ago a mom and pop landlord in our community who's having difficulties, and many of them have because they have mortgage too. But I'm talking about these greedy billionaires and big corporations that own these huge buildings. And these landlords, instead of maintaining, repairs and other things, they just pass on. They do nothing. They just, put a painting in the front door, and so forth. And then they pass on every year above guidelines increases, addition to annual increases. And imagine every year a certain 6%, 7%, sometimes, it forces these decent, hardworking people to not afford anywhere to live. And that's also another problem. That's why we need also to have a rent control. It's very important to have a rent control, and that's important because it makes sure a life more affordable for those who are renting. Another thing also is that many people are not cannot dream to own a home of their own. And that's another issue that we need to tackle. And to do so, our plan has also option for that. And that is, if you make a lower than 200,000, then we'll be able to allow you to have equity loans of 10% of down payment, so that you will be able to put it down and you can pay it later on when you sell your house. And when you sell it, then that equity can be passed to someone else to put a down payment. And it is doable, and we have the plan. It's a practical because also it creates more people to become owners of property, because many decent, hardworking members of our community and across the province, it's difficult for them to save, 50,000, 70,000, 100,000, and so forth. But if they can get an equity loan to put the down payment, it allows them then to pay the mortgage. And that's the kinds of also options we need to provide for people. And our plan does that. An NDP plan delivers that. And we have been talking about this, and it's exciting opportunity. Also, we need to go and tackle these billionaires, greedy billionaires, on their speculation and flippers, so that we also put them taxations on them, and also restrict them in terms of these people who are not in our community and who are just making profit out of our housing. Housing shouldn't be a profit maximization. Housing is human right, folks, and we should think that, to make sure that everybody has a place to live. Well, folks, welcome those who are joining us. Instagram here, Tariq says, "Sir, I need your help. I'm now helpless. No one is helping me. Please help me, sir." Well, I mean, if you live in my riding and it is a provincial issues, I'm happy to help you and assist you. If it is not, I'll be able to direct you. If it's a municipal or if it is a federal issues, I'll be happy to refer to you my counterparts. But you can write to me, fhassan co at ndp.on.ca. I think if you have missed F Hassan together hyphen co@ndp.on.ca. So you email me there. If you are not able to email me somehow, you can phone me, my constituency office, 416-243-7984. Well, thank you for joining me this evening on Instagram. And thanks, Mary Ruzuto. Welcome too for joining me Instagram as well. And also Nina, Ninar, welcome. I haven't seen you a long time. Welcome too. Hope you're doing well there. And Tyson, welcome too. And Tyson says, are new landlords allowed to convert apartments into condos? That's a very good question, Tyson. So explain. I mean, new landlords. You're talking about your own house. Elaborate a little bit so that, or write to me. Why don't you write to me, fhassan-co@ndp.on.ca, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. But also, I can send you a copy of our housing plan. Our housing plan is out there. I've been talking about months and months now. It is really practical. It's doable. It is an excellent plan, and because I like it, because it gives so much options for everybody. Those who rent, those who are having challenges to own a place because they have a job, but they can put equity loans down. So providing them that 10% equity loans, if you make lower than 200,000 annually, then you are eligible our program, and you'll be able to get that. And you can actually buy slowly the equity, but if you don't, then when you sell your home later on, then you pay that equity back, and we can pass on another person again to also do the same things. And that's why we need to help one another. I want to welcome my colleague from St. Catherine, Jenny Stevenson. Welcome for joining us. Instagram, Faisal Hassan, NDP. She is the most hardworking MPP in St. Catherine. And welcome, Jane, for joining me also this evening. Folks, just a quick announcement. Next Friday, I won't be able to join you, folks, because it's going to be Ontario NDP Convention. And I want to be there. And if you are joining the convention, I will be looking forward to seeing you there. If not, I will be giving you all the updates the following Friday to share, and also to talk to you about the important issues of the week again, and also the week of next week and the following week as well, to share and to talk. And again, I'll be able to take your questions, of course, and I hope I answer them this evening, all those questions you put me this evening, and also read and share your comments as well. And folks, thank you, folks, for joining me. I think I have been with you from 7 to 8 p.m. this evening. I join you every Friday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. And I'll be joining you again next Friday, the same time. And folks, make sure that you practice social distancing, you wash your hands, you take care of one another. And if you have any issues, don't wait. Next Friday, you write to me, fhassan-co@ndp.on.ca, or you phone me at 416-243-7984. Until then, folks, I will join you again next, not this Friday coming, but the following Friday. I'll be joining you, because I won't be joining you Friday 4th of February. I won't be joining you, but I'll be joining you the following Friday. And remember, folks, Tuesday starts Black History Month. We'll be having, of course, a town hall meeting, and I'll be happy to share you later on when we have the details, or we will be also sharing our newsletter. If you haven't subscribed to my newsletter, electronic newsletter, which we send every Mondays and Thursdays, please subscribe it, and you can do that by visiting my website, faisalhassan.ca, and then go to the newsletter and click there, and down there you can subscribe. Folks, until then, a good evening and have a wonderful weekend, folks. Until then, bye.